Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us in the very first Tech Express by OnePlus community. It is my great honor to be the host today. And also with me, we have several staff members behind the Home Robotic Product team. And I'm very delighted that so many users from OnePlus community have already submitted their wonderful ideas about the future product. And today we have 2 hours together to talk about the product and to discuss about the possibilities of these kind of products. And maybe you are wondering why it's called Tech Express. As you can see, it's like an express connecting you guys with OnePlus, with the company, with the manufacturer. And also, I think tech is about expressing different ideas, different preferences. And this platform is a perfect place for you guys to know more about our way of approaching product, and also maybe is also a good way for us to know more about how you guys perceive the product and how our users' expectations for these kind of future products be. So is the premiere of this format, and I'm really happy that you guys can join us at this minute. We have evening here in China, and I believe most of our users are joining in India. It's late afternoon. I hope you are not starving, because this will be a very engaging 2 hours. Without further ado, let's continue with the presentation. Okay, here is a short video I like to show with you guys. Maybe you can take a closer look on this creek and think of the questions you might have. We have a small round where you can submit one of your live questions and get the question answered by our creek team. Here we go. Okay, that's a short video we made out of our last visit in the robotic labs. Maybe some of you already checked the thread, the vlog by Daniel, our vlog master. This was another video. And if you're looking for more of this kind of content, please share your expectations with us in the community. I believe we'd love to get more of these kind of behind-the-scene videos, and also some fun stuff, and shared it with you guys in the upcoming month. Okay, let me briefly introduce you guys, go through the agenda for today. I will quickly go through the guests that are attending today's meeting, and also I'd like to invite all of our users to share your expectations for today's discussion, and also maybe some of your opinions on home robotic products. And then I will also invite our staff members behind the home robotic team to give some of their feedbacks based on their understanding of your questions, expectations. And I shared all the comments, incoming comments, and also our survey results with Andy, the product manager. And she is also eager to share some of her understandings. Okay, of course, today is about a conversation, it's about live dialogue. So I told you guys that you got the chance to submit one live questions today. And for the fourth agenda, each of you can submit a question you might have, be it a question related to Creek, the product itself, or the home robotic products in general. And our main part for today's event is a focus group free discussion. And we've prepared 3 major questions. And our product team is really eager to get some of your insight into these questions. And not last but not least, we will have a brief wrap up and also get some of the feedbacks from you guys. Okay, let me go through the guests today. As you can see from one of our video, we are sitting together in a meeting room at Oppo HQ. And it's my great honor to have 3 of the core team members from the Creek together with us. As you might already heard, Andy is the Senior Product Manager for Advanced Technologies. She is also the Product Manager for Creek. Let's welcome Andy. Our second guest is Zhu Chao. He is the Senior Project Manager for Creek. I believe he has also some exciting information to share. Let's welcome. And our third guest is Mr. Li Chunxu. Garvin, I believe you can see from his profile picture, he's a tennis fan. Garvin, say hi to our friends. Yeah, he's our Senior Validation Manager. You might have also questions related to validation. What's that? Yeah, feel free to join the conversations later. And I'm also very happy to have my colleague from the Translation Interpretation Center to assist us for the session, because both of our staff members would love to have in-depth conversations with you. They will talk in Chinese, and they need our interpreters, professional interpreters, Fernando and Ryan, to assist us. And we are sitting together in this row. Okay, without further ado, let's move on to the part for you guys to introduce yourself. You guys are active members in the community, and also, I believe, are enthusiasts of home robotics. And based on your interactions, your comments in the thread, as well as the survey results, Andy and I kind of selected based on your inputs. And congratulations for being selected as our very first guest for this edition. Now I love to invite each of you to give us a brief introduction with your expectations. Who'd love to be the first? Feel free to unmute yourself. Otherwise, I will invite Hawkeye. I notice 5 of you are already in my Zoom. Thank you for taking the time. Art Love JV. Hawkeye 007, the mic is yours. Please open the video if it's convenient for you.
Hey, good evening all. I may not be able to open the video because I'm at different location, because we thought that was around 5:30 p.m., but it was around 1 hour early. So this is Rajesh, from India, and I will not. I saw this post on the community wherein we were discussing about the home robotics products, and quite interested in the QRIC video, whatever we've seen in the previous threads from the community, and hope we will see the robotic products from Oppo or OnePlus as well. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Hawkeye. Yes, I'm sorry for the time difference mistake. Yeah, and today is your chance to get to know more about our home robotic product plans, and also have some in-depth discussions this related. I'd love to invite Art Lover JV to be the second to give us a brief introduction. The mic is yours.
Hey guys, I'm Art Lover JV, and my real name is Vimal Krishnatri, and I'm a graphic designer and also an active member of the community. Sorry for my voice today, I'm a bit sick today. So I think my whole idea of home robotics is that there will be multiple robots doing different tasks, individual tasks, which are controlled by a central powerhouse, a central workstation which is controlling all these different, like dishwashers and vacuum cleaners and all that stuff. I don't think we'll have an Android robot who will be doing tasks like a like a human. So that's not my vision of how I see home robotics.
Okay, thank you for your input. Thank you, Alava JV, despite being not so well for spending 1 hour, 2 hours with us. I hope the 2
Thanks
hours,
for inviting me.
deserves it. Let's invite our third member today, Harsh. The mic is yours. Feel free to open the mic, open the video too. Oh, you unmuted, Harsh.
Hello guys, I am Ishbin Harsh in community, and Harsh is my name. So I am from India, and I am currently working in the polymer industry. So I am really looking into the home robotics products, particularly for the products which will make the work more easy for the human being. So for cleaning, sweeping, and mopping, that kind of the products, I'm really looking into that particular thing.
Thank you for the brief introduction. Yeah, nice to see you again. Okay,
Thank you.
our fourth guest is Hazan, also the first to join in today's meeting. The mic is yours.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you. And again, part of these amazing co-creation. And the expectation that I have is like the concern that the privacy is the main concern when it comes to home robotics, right? So there has to be a feature that you can turn it off when you need to be. So that's one thing. And the home robotics has to be somewhat similar to a pet-like, not a humanoid. So that's what I would believe that would make a home robotic much more like a home robotic.
Yeah, thank you, Hazan, for your input. I think security is definitely a big issue in all of the smart devices, and also for the future smart devices like home robotic products. I think we will definitely cover this kind of discussions today. Thank you for joining us, and also I hope we enjoy the upcoming 2 hours. Our fifth guest is G+1. Maybe you can give us a brief introduction about the username.
Hey, hi guys. This is G+1. The name is actually a reminder of bygone social media network. Gmail's Google Plus. You remember it was probably a small site in around 2011 to 2016 or 17, and then many of the products by Google, it also got killed off. So killed by Google. It's just a reminder for that days.
Thank you for your story. Yeah, let me know a little bit more about you. And today,
Yeah, I have been a member of the community since 2017, and regarding home automation, yeah, I just want to check out what products that Oppo's. There cannot be a one robot solution for everything. I mean, that will take a long time. Instead of that, I would like to see what will Oppo or Ultras provide that will at least take up some burden away from the humans, maybe as a companion or helpful in cleaning duties or things like that.
Thank you. Thank you for
let's say, yeah, let's say like a Roomba or the one we have, a pet dog that we could walk and maybe it could bring things to us, or for older people, whatever they want, could grab it and bring it to them if they're elderly or disabled, or it could be a companion for people to go walk with or run.
Yeah, thank you for sharing these expectations, insights. I think companionship was also mentioned a lot in our previous conversations. I believe today we will also cover this part of the discussion. Okay, let's move on. I kind of combined your expectations with the introduction part. In case some of you thought you didn't express enough of your expectations, please take the time to share with us while we were discussing in the upcoming topics. Okay, as I mentioned, our product team has already, especially Andy, has worked through all the inputs from you guys. And now I'd love to invite Andy, our product manager for the Creek, to give us some of her opinions, some of her ideas on home robotic products, and maybe anything she'd love to share with you.
Hello guys, I'm Andy. So I'm going to share very briefly introduce about why we are doing Quick and what we are going to do next. So basically, we started from doing a research a lot in the field of Internet of Things and also new sensors for the consumer electronics, and also all the algorithms for these kind of sensors. And then we finally come up with an insight that a robot has great potential putting any sensor on top and achieve many more new functions for our users. So we finally dive into the robotics field for the as a home product. And then we listed all the possible functions of a robot, like 100 of them. And so today, thanks for Tianyang for gathering us together. So our team today we sit together and want to listen to you guys, your thinkings and preferences about the home robotics. Because as you guys just mentioned, a robot cannot do everything at the moment, but a robot can do something so far already. So that's my introduction. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Andy, for the input. And I'd also like to invite the other of our two guests to give some input. Anything you like to share with our users? Mr. Lee, feel free to share anything.
OK，我们在做这款机器人的时候，也是想让
We will do consecutive interpretation for this part. Sorry.
OK 我们在做 Quick 这款机器人的时候呢，也是希望它能帮到我们做一些事情。那么现在我们实现的就是说，像大家在视频看到的，能去做取快递啊，或者说我们在家庭中的这个对家庭成员的这个安全的守护。那么除此之外呢，我们也是，
没关系，不好意思，您讲，不好意思。
OK， 继续。此外呢，我们也就是说在做一些技术上的探索，希望来增加一些我们与机器人的一些交互的体验。比如说，我们可以和它进行语言的这种交互，通过去做控制它去做哪些事情，然后控制它和我们进行一些聊天，然后解答一些我们所需要的一些常用的信息。那么此外就是我们
I'm sorry, maybe we can take some time for interpreters to share this part.
Okay.
When we are making a trick, we hope that it will help us to do something, just like Andy has mentioned. And in the video that you just seen, you can see that Crick is able to perform certain actions like delivering packages or providing security safeguard for your family members. And we're still doing technical explorations in this field. For example, we hope that it can improve the interaction between us and it. For example, in terms of language interaction between the robot and human beings, we are doing things and we are digging deeper in that regard. So we hope that through voice command, it can chat with us or answer some common questions, and to try to make sure that it can serve its own purposes.
今天也很高兴能和我们的用户来进行这种现场的交流，也是希望能听到大家对我们机器人的期待，或者说相应的一些建议，让我们将机器人这个方向做得更完善，能做得更帮助我们的生活变得更加快乐和有趣。
And I'm very pleased to be given this opportunity to sit down here to talk with all of the users. And I hope that I can obtain more of your expectations or suggestions in terms of that to share with us your insights in terms of how can we perfect or improve the home robotics so that it can make us live happier in our daily life.
Thank you, Mr. Li. Now I'd love to invite our product manager to share his views. The mic is yours.
Hello， 大家好。OPPO 机器人团队成立大概也有2年多的时间，然后在整个机器人领域而言，我们可能也是一个刚刚新进来的一个新选手。
Hello, everybody. I'm Carlos, and for the robotic teams in OPPO, it has been established for 2 years. Well, Crick is a newly member that just come in the whole robotic team, whole robotic project of OPPO.
大家看到的 Q-Ray 四足机器人，其实是我们一次一个新的形态的一个探索吧。实际上，除了 Q-Ray， 我们团队仍然在做很多不同类型的机器人的一些探索，目前都正在进行中。
As you can see, Crick is just one of the form factors that we are currently exploring, and we are doing more exploration and trials and errors in terms of learning more about and digging more deeper in terms of different form factors that the home robotics can present to all of us.
我们的产品团队也做了很多调研我们也希望能够把握未来机器人的方向，所以藉由今天这个机会，也希望希望大家更多的给我们一些输入。
We've done a lot of research as a product team, and we hope that through this communication, we can obtain more of your expectations or suggestions so that we can have a clearer or bigger picture about the future direction.
感谢大家。
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you for all of you, especially for Fernando. I think he's starting to bring us the authentic input from our guests. So I believe, as you can see, we are trying to start conversations with you guys. And let's start from this agenda is a live mini AMA. Please submit 1 question each. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have one. For our previous 5 users, any question you'd love to ask?
I have a question about how do you end up on this 4-leg walking robot? Because when you think about robotics, you also think about tires and wheels. So what was the decision that made you use static legs instead of wheels for your Q-Rig?
Okay, did you get the question? Who would love to give an answer?
我来吧。
Yeah, Carlos.
为什么做4足形态主要是我们做过一些调研，就是因为我们是一个全新的团队，然后选择一个合适的机器人形态切入，才有助于我们的技术积累。常规的轮式或者是履带式可能对我们来说太简单，不利于技术的积累。然后如果直接做人形可能又太难，所以我们选择了一个适中的一个形态。对。
I will answer your first question. So why did we choose to make the quadruped robotic? Why did we choose this form factor from the beginning? Because we have done lots of research in terms of that. And since we are a brand new team that's just established and are doing research in that direction, so we choose this form factor, the quadruped robotics, like a CyberDog, as the breaking point for us to accumulate more technical reserves in this field. And we didn't choose the wheel-based or simply chose humanoid because it's too easy for us and it's not beneficial for us to accumulate more experience in terms of the technical field.
I hope that answered Art Lover JV's question. Thank you for being the first to ask a question. Feel free to unmute and raise your question. Hassan, Hash, G+1, Hawkeye. Seems you guys are being
What
shy.
do you think will be the other applications?
Sorry, can you
other-
repeat?
Yeah, what do you think of the other applications? Will they be able to deliver groceries or like we already have?
就是我们已经构想过的这些应用场景里面都有些什么？
Deliver groceries, get groceries also. They are capable of transitioning different terrains, so it will be easier for them. So will they be also be able to do that at a particular time, like get things for whichever that let's say you give a list to it, and will it be able to do that?
It would be better if you can be closer to the mic, because the rest of the second part of the question was kind of missing.
Okay. Will it be able to, let's say, pick up stuff from, let's say, will it be able to navigate outside the house, or roads, crossroads, and streets?
I
and then
think this was
travel back home?
mentioned in the article that was published in Oppo community, that the Creek will be able to like go outside its geographical location and pick up medicine and stuff. So that's the one of the tasks that it can do.
Oh, it can already do that.
Yes, that's already mentioned in the article that is published in Oppo community.
Thank you, Hazan, for answering the question for us. I'd still like to invite my colleague to give some of his feedback. Thank you.
那我答了。Okay, so basically we have accumulated the technology for navigation outdoors, and also for Creek itself, we can ask Creek to work a bit outside the houses. But another team has already done some more research on navigations and also auto navigations for robotics or other kind of form of mechanics. So basically, it's able to do such things, and also we are accumulating some technologies around the area. But so far we haven't put the two together. So we haven't put Creek and the navigation team completely together. But in the future, if we do need to make a robot that need to go outside and do short distance errands, then we are going to make them all together.
Thank you, Andy, for getting this information across.
我们解答这些问题。
I hope that answered G+1 your question.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's continue with the questions. Hazan, do you have one?
No.
Or Harsh?
Yeah, this is okay. So
okay,
my question is, what are the security measures that have been taken while developing the quick robot? That stops someone from hacking it and then or intruding into the system of work and then making it to do something else than it is programmed to. So what are the security things or the measures that have been taken there while developing that? Because that plays a very important role when the users believe to use that robot as one of the member, the team, the home, or any other purposes.
Okay, do we have this question?
大家听懂这个问题了吗？
Actually, we because Creek is our one of our very first demos to demonstrate very simple functions for home robotic, and we are collaborating with other teams like the edge computing team and also software framework team. So we think actually safety and also data safety is one of the biggest issue for home robotics because it has several cameras 24/7. So this is what we are going to do next step.
I hope that answered your question. Yeah, internally,
looking forward.
Yeah,
because as the robot is equipped with a lot of cameras, and then the main concern will be the privacy of the user, and that plays very important role. Like we are bringing a robot with a 360 camera, and then we're giving access to the public. I mean, if it is getting hacked or something like that, so that plays very important.
Actually, for robots, there are two very big problems for the security. The first one is the data security, and the other one is what if someone taking control of our robot? So that's another problem.
Data security and the people's security in case it was hacked and being weaponized. Okay, let's continue with the questions.
Yeah, so my question is regarding the data processing and its storage. So how this Quick is working on the data processing, or like can we do like that it will process the data into the robot itself, and after that in the secure manner it will store into the local server.
Okay, do we have this question? Yeah. Miss Lee is
我们应该说是绝大多数的数据都是在本地来处理的。当然呢，当我们需要进行一些实时查看，就是说这个远程查看，机器人所看到的这个视野的时候，是会通过网络去传输的。
The vast majority of the data is handled locally. Well, for example, if we want to run a remote or real-time check of the data that the robot stores, it will be accessed through the internet.
Super. I hope that is clear with this answer. Thank you, Harsh, for the question. Hassan, I think there is one question for you.
Yeah, so my question is regarding that one of the features that Creek has is like receiving of video calls. So does this goes the same way? Like, does this projectile the person who is calling, or this is something like you can only receive the answer the video calls? Like Creek can project the received call, video call.
Notice Hawkeye give a thumbs up for the question. I hope we are getting through this question. Just wait a few seconds.
Sure.
那我来回答吧。
Okay, Cars is going to take on this.
我们公司有一个语音聊天室服务叫做 ORTC， 然后实际上我们在手机上面，比如说远程支持，就是相同都有 OPPO 手机远程支持遥控用到了这个服务，然后我们的氏族其实也用到了这个服务 ORTC。
Actually, we have technology which is a voice chatting or voice communication server called ORTC, and all of the OPPO phones can remotely access or leverage this technology.
Yeah, thank you. I hope that answered Hassan your question. You have a follow-up?
So the question was like the feature, one of the feature is receiving a video call, right? So does this like Quick is able to projectile the received video call on a projector or something, or is there an inbuilt display where you can see a person who is calling you?
Okay, thank you for this part of the question.
我就可以这么理解，我们的那个 Quick 里面，它的整个机身里面有一块安卓的手机主板，它实际上你可以把它理解为，它有4个大脑，安卓主板是它的其中大脑之一，所以手机有的功能它都有。然后我们的视频通话其实相当于就是2台手机对手机之间的这种通话，然后中间用到的是我们的那个 OPPO ORTC 云端聊天室这个服务。
它的视频是通过什么来呈现的？手机还是？
就是我们的那个视频就是怎么说呢？
这样
就是通过手机屏幕来看的，对吧？就不是
你圆的那肯定是拿着手机屏幕，狗的话，它其实不需要，狗只需要把自己的前面那个摄像头的影像实时投出来就好了。
狗本身它没有什么投屏的功能，或者是
不需要。
OK，
狗上面可以加一个屏幕或者加一个屏幕，但是我们去年是没加的。
Okay, let me put it this way, so I can elaborate this question. For Crick, inside its body, it contains an Android phone motherboard, which is one of its 4 brains, and it can just function the same as a phone. So when you video call somebody, it's just like connecting 2 phones remotely and through the tag, like the voice chatting servo that I just mentioned, which is called ORTC, you can achieve certain video calling functions. Well, for the CyberDog, it cannot serve as a projector per se, so to speak. It itself cannot serve as a projector, but we did find ways to add some like a screen or camera on it, but we didn't do it.
Thank you, Fernando, for the precise translation by integrating our catch-ups internally. Yeah, I hope that answered all of your urgent questions. So let's move on with the more fun part, is about the focus group, the free discussion. Andy managed to prepare 3 major questions we'd love to discuss with you. So here is our first one. Let's take a look. If you have a creek, what do you intend to do with it? I think this question was also part of our survey, if you have submitted your answers. So maybe you can take a second look and choose among all these features, choose 3 of the top features you'd love to have, and also explain why with a preferably specific user scenario. Yeah, maybe you can think it through, and I'd love to also invite one by one to give us some of your inputs for this round. And we might join in the conversations with you with some follow-up questions and discussions. And while one finishes his input, the rest of you can also share your feedback or comments. Okay, let's get started. Who would love to be our first to share your understanding, your input for the question?
I think home and health monitoring is a really important part of how I see Curate to be working. Because if it has cameras, if I'm going outside, I can have a look at my home. And if I'm working outside and I have old parents at home, so I can have a Curate with them so that it can tell me how their health is going on. And if there's something wrong with their health, then I can get instant notifications.
Yes. If you have further features, functions you'd love to share, please go on.
有的这种功能吗？或者特点？
Can I go now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I agree with our cloud GB. I know the health monitoring and the medication supervision that is very much needed now. Considering the various health related issues, and then taking the supervision from AI bot, which can readily access the data, at the same time can can analyze the data and then can project, if it is something urgent or if it is something emergency, that would make it a direct call to the emergency services. So without any manual intervention, so that would automate few things. So that is one thing. And the next option I would choose is the surveillance and the home security. And that would be, similar to the the CCTV that we install in our homes. But when it comes to this one, this is 360 degrees with which can cover entire home. We can remotely control, and then we can also view the home from the remote locations. So that would be my choice. And the final one would be the vacuum cleaning and the floor washing. And I would expect it to be the last option that I would be choosing it, because for it to perform that particular operation, the homes need to be in a proper what I can say is it should be in the free from the obstacle, so that we can move around freely. But that won't be the case in all the homes that we see, because if you come into the India, or even it's not about India, or it's not about other countries, it's about the people who are maintaining the home. Some maintain it like they just keep the things throw in all the directions, and making it would make the robot to perform its jobs.
Okay, let's wait for a couple of seconds for the translation. Do we have any feedback on this part of input from the previous two users from our?
分享之后，我们这边有没有什么想补充的或者想讲的？
Or any specific thing you'd love to know more?
There's actually one question about the surveillance and home security. If we put the camera on the robot, then we have a moving robot around the home, which can go anywhere. But what if there's something happen and it happens that the robot is not at the same room? It will meet the piece.
它并没有在这个事发当场这个。
Something had happened. So this is what we are thinking. If we have if the user has a big house, do they need a robot with several just several cameras, or do they need several small robots?
有很多摄像头的一个机器狗还是 N 个机器狗？
Yeah, that's a follow-up question from Andy, or one of her recent concern or questions. Maybe you have some of your ideas. Help her.
And I would go with that. I know in such cases, like I agree with the point of Andy, what she was saying, like the robot cannot stay at one location; it has to move around. And if something happens in other room, when the robot is not at that location, that would create some more problems, or we might have to put in some more robots in our home to cover a couple of rooms. And so in that case, maybe sensors that would come in handy. The sensors, like the sensors I would for example, if I'm going to have this robot at my home, what I would be expecting is I would keep some sensors in different rooms. That could be the movement sensors or sound sensors or whatever it may be. And those sensors I will be activating when nobody is at home, and when only the robot is at home, and I leave that as in my pet dog at my home. And system should be the robotic dog or whatever the robot should have the communication between the sensors and the robot, so that if something happens in other room, this robot gets alert, and then it knows from where this particular movement has been observed or a sound has been observed. The robot can go to that location and then take a look around and then come back to its whatever the position decided by the owner of that particular robot or the home. The sensors would come in handy. That's the main thing. The sensors connected to the robot, and those sensors should be activated only when we are not at home. Like when we move out of the home, I would activate those sensors, because if I activate those sensors when I'm in home, that would unnecessarily make this robot to react to those things. So.
Okay, thank you for giving us this part of your input. Who'd love to share with us your three most top features with some user scenarios? Next. Hassan, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So, like the main concern is privacy, right? So there should be a like a like an option to turn it off. So by doing so, you can like turn off the mics, cameras, and motions with a single press of button. Something similar to what Amazon Astro has, right? So that's something that can be considered for like uh, in if we are talking about a privacy perspective, right? And the another useful feature should be something like where the click should not be going. So you can like target the geolocation. So click should not go outside of that zone.
Okay, thank you for sharing this. Do we have any comment? I noticed Andy was also agreeing with you on this part. If you don't have further comments for this, let's invite another of our users. Harsh, do you have anything to share for this question?
Yeah, so for me, the must-have features will be vacuum cleaning and floor washing. Second one is the surveillance and home security. And the third one is the health monitoring and the medication supervision. So first going with the vacuum cleaning and the floor washing, why it is must for me that because looking to the current scenario of everyone is working in home, so like it will be a really particularly in India there are maids of available here, but looking to the modernization I will like if we have any kind of the robot which is really helpful for that particular thing, and if we set a timing over that we are coming at home and before that everything should be cleaned and washed, so this will be a really useful feature. So regarding the surveillance and the home security, if I am not at home, I will turn on that particular mode of the surveillance and the home security. After only I am enabling that option. So after that, my whole home will be surveilled, and whenever the some person is coming, it will directly intimate me over the phone or over the computer that someone is there or the parcel is there. And regarding the health monitoring and the medication supervision, so currently I am living with my grandfather and grandmother, so I am really worried about the issues regarding them. So yeah, if it is possible to like maintain the monitor the bp spo2 regarding many more functionality of the health monitoring, then if anything is suspicious in terms of the health, they will directly intimate me regarding that, so that I will do the needful as soon as possible.
Thank you, Harsh, for pointing out these three top features clearly. Yeah, I have actually a question for you. Do you expect these three features to be integrated in one home robotic product, or more for multiple product?
Yeah, so I am expecting it to be in one only, because if I am giving the reasons, so if we are considering it these three factors, so it should be required with some of the sensors, some of the motion sensors, and some of the cameras. So cameras will do the work of the surveillance and the home security. Then motion sensors will work with the vacuum cleaning and the floor washing. And there are some dedicated sensors required for the BP, SPO2, and something regarding the health monitoring. So if we add all kind of the sensors into the one robot, then it will work, do its work.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer. Do we have a question for Harsh? Yeah.
我有一个问题，就是如果你希望这个机器人能作为一个陪伴机器人，那么你期望它的样子 是什么呢？是像动物这种毛茸茸的猫和狗这个样子，还是说一个全新的外观呢？
I have a follow-up question regarding your suggestion. So if you want a robot to provide the companionship service, then what kind of form do you prefer this kind of robot can adopt? Would you prefer an animal-like, the fluffy form, or another kind of brand new form?
So is it a question for Harsh or for all of the users? 是给这刚刚前面那个用户的，
是其他都可以。
For everyone. It's not specifically for Harsh. So Miss Lee was thinking in this direction in terms of companionship of a home robotic product. And do you have your answers for him?
Yeah, I think it can be like a pet robot like Keurig, which is not furry, because I think it will be going places and it will get dirty soon if it has fur like a normal dog, and we cannot give it a bath. So, so I think it will be like Keurig. But I have a question that you have laundry, cooking, making tea in these options. So how do we visualize it doing that? Is it using extensions of robotic arms or something?
We are going to use if we are going to do these functions, we have to use arms.
Okay, attached to the Creek's body.
Yeah, so it's actually beyond the current form and functionalities. So we probably need arms for all these functions.
Okay.
I have a question to Harsh.
Yes.
因为我刚才我看到你提到的第一个是聊天陪伴啊，陪伴我觉得可能还好，但我觉得聊天是一个非常高级的功能啊，所以刚好最近那个 ChatGPT 也很火，所以我想问一下，就是说聊天这个功能，你希望或者说你目前接触到的比较让你满意程度的语音机器人，你有哪一些？比如说 Siri 啊，或者是等有类似这种小故
事，像 Alexa 亚马逊。
So this is a question for Harsh. I noticed that you've mentioned the chatting and the companion service that you prefer a robot to have. So for companionship, it's kind of a simple task, but for chatting, actually, it's very complex and a superior feature. And nowadays, ChatGPT goes viral on the internet. And I wonder whether you have some impressions of a good voice robot that you have experienced with, maybe Siri or Alexa. Do you have any examples here?
或者说我没讲完，或者说这些不同类型的语音机器人是不是都不满意，有更好的想法，或者说有更好的期待啊？
Or maybe you are not satisfied with all these current existing AI chat robot, and you have your own expectations at the higher level.
Hello, Harsh. Did you get the question? Can you share with your?
Yeah, I got some of the part. So particularly if I'm looking for the like Alexa or Google Home. So currently I have experienced the Alexa and the Google Home. So from that I can say that it is pretty much doing my work, but sometimes it's depend on the regional language. Like if I'm talking in English, then it is good to go. But if I am going for my own language, so sometimes that particular language is not understandable as good. So I really want to get into that. If our own robot can discuss with our own language, then it will be a really helpful for the conversation.
Okay, thank you for.
I have one more question. So for the companionship, do you think the current products is already enough for like a companion, or is it just like a Q&A, like you ask some question and they answer it, or you ask some requirement and they can do it for you?
Yeah, Andy would love to know more about the functions behind the companionship. What are you expecting specifically for home robotic products to be your companion? Can you give us some of your user cases and some of your expectations?
I think in future, I'm looking at something like the Jarvis AI in Iron Man. So I ask something, it has an answer for me. And if someone's at the door, it tells me that someone's at the door. And I think if we add AI to Crick along with voice generating capabilities, then I think it's possible that someone's at the door and it tells me right away. If I have a question, I ask it. Similar to what we had in Iron Man, the Jarvis.
It's more like a personal assistant.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, let's continue with the second discussion part. I think the second one is more practical and more interesting, because in this way you get to know how our product managers thinking. There are out there a lot of different features and expectations for a product. Specifically, when a product manager wants to create a product that is going to go to mass market, we have to make some balance. So this second question is how we are going to achieve this together with you. Maybe let's take a look at this. In terms of the monies you love to invest in each of these functionalities, maybe you can take out a paper and make some notes. And once you have finished this task, feel free to share your answers with us and we can discuss together. Do you have any questions for this second discussion point?
So do we have to select all of them or only 3 of them only?
Not all of them. You can see there is a no need column here.
So basically you can select even only one function, or you select all of them.
Yeah, it's your choice. You imagine you are the product manager. You want to create a home robotic product.
Yeah.
Or you are because
有可能都想小于20实现所有。
Yeah, to think also in our shoes in this case.
It's actually when you are a user and you see a company selling some home robotic products and it's modular, and it's like Lego. You can put them all together and each of them, they have their own price. So how much are you going to pay for the functions that you really need?
Yeah, as you can see, the prices are limited. Some of the really fancy features will probably not be fulfilled with less than $20, I believe. You can also share at the very beginning your overall total budget for this kind of product, if it's difficult for you to divide them into these categories.
没有办法把它就是划分的这么详细的话。
Yeah, please take your time.
看一下。
5个人都讲了，好像是4个。我刚才那5个人是不是只讲4个？
Okay, I'm not sure. Do you have some of the first thoughts on this one? Feel free to unmute and share with us if you finish. Seems like a complicated math.
我离开一会儿有另一个会，我20分钟回来
House
争取。
has a follow-up meeting this minute. He might be joining us later. Hello, Yash. If you are there, feel free to also share some of your thoughts also about the previous discussions.
Sure. I'm just looking, and I'm also listening to what everyone is saying.
Thank you. Maybe also from the previous one, if you have anything to share.
Oh, I had only one thing to share. So when I'm working every day, I forget to drink water. So I'm wondering if Crick can actually make me drink water once every 45 minutes.
That was easy. Actually, a smartwatch can do that. I'm using my smartwatch to
No, you don't get my point. I need to be forced to drink water. So Crick has to hold me and then I drink water.
like a dog doing something on you.
Exactly. My watch does tell me it's time to drink water. It's time to move around. But I'm a person that reacts more to force.
Okay, I got your point. Thank you. Do we have an answer for Yash?
Oh, I'm sure Andy will be like, no, that's not fair.
I think
But
he's a
if
girlfriend, man.
Rick will need some hands to do that.
Later on, we may add a feature. We may add like a mechanic arm, and they can pass on a glass of water to you. Think about it.
They can force you to drink the glass.
So there is a comment from the smartwatch sending to the creek, and creek will pick up a water and walk towards you. And do you
but
still?
it won't hit us. It won't hit us, right?
但是不知道他这种强迫会不会让你恐惧他。
But it may lead to one circumstance that you may be afraid of Crick to perform that kind of action.
Yeah, thank you for bringing this interesting discussion. Do you have any further features you'd love to have on home robotic products?
Actually, I was thinking about this yesterday. And I was wondering if we place Crick onto the stand, if we place a smartphone on Crick's back, would it start charging wirelessly? I think that would be a very cool feature to have.
That's a good one.
I actually saw in the vlog when Crick was moving around with the OnePlus device. I'm like, so in the time that it takes to move from one place to another, can it also charge the device while on the way?
Thank you for this valuable input.
是的，你要回答一下。
可以啊，这很简单。
对，在实现上来讲，其实应该是比较技术上来讲是比较容易实现的，但是基于Quick 这个形态，我们不太可能把特别大容量的电池放上去，所以说如果在 Quick 这种形态机器人，可能只是作为应急的充电场景。
For the scenario that you just mentioned, like wireless charging to the mobile phones, it's pretty easy to realize that feature technically, but we may not consider doing that because in this form factor, we may not consider equip Crick with a battery with such large capacity. So the wireless charging scenario will just be a contingency plan for your battery dies suddenly or drains very quickly.
So can Crick be the source of secondary power? For example, Crick is sitting beside you and your phone is running out of charge. So you just connect a USB to Crick and it automatically charges your phone at high speeds, just the exact same high speeds that are offered by OnePlus or Oppo, SuperVOOC speeds. I think that would be an interesting use case scenario because Crick is such a big mechanical dog that's moving around with you. I think having the flexibility and freedom from being chained to a wall, I think that is a very good use case.
Yeah, I agree with you, Yash. I remember sometimes during the weekends, I was way too lazy to stand up and get my phone charged on one of the corners. And if I have a home robotic product who can walk towards me, that would be fantastic.
So every time you need to charge, you just summon Crick and then you start charging using it. You also do not have to sit close to the power socket or the walls for your phone to keep charging.
And I also remember one scene, I have a friend who got injured and he doesn't have anyone to help him out. And I invited him to live in my apartment for a couple of days. And I bet he loved all the features Crick can do for him, including like getting his phone charged.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, he has to bet me to take him to toilet to get something. People who who got injured cannot move flexible easily would love to have a home robot.
如果有这样一个家用机器人的话，会很实用。
这就有点像一个家庭助理，比如说它可以，我们的机器人有一个手臂，拿着这个手机去充电，这样作为一个中继来实现，或者也有点类似于，把水啊，或者是说外卖拿到屋里来，放到他的床前，这应该也算是一个看护的一个典型场景。
Yeah, so it's just like Crick can serve as a home assistant. So whenever you get a delivery or get a takeaway, he can serve as a bridge or kind of a medium to be equipped with the mechanical arm, and he can pass the packages or the takeaways, or to take your phone to plug it in the socket and so on and so forth.
谢谢他刚才是一个很好的提议。
Thank you, Yash. That's a very good proposition.
Yeah, thank you, Yash. Okay, shall we go back to this slide for our 5 users? Do you have your math solved?
有把这个价格列出来呢？
Share with us anything you can share. I think it's just how our product team is going to structuralize your input.
排序和理清一下这个优先级。
Another thing I was actually wondering, people do tend to carry their tech backpacks everywhere they go. And recently I was on a trip for about 12 days. I had my laptop with me, I had my earphones, and I had way too much stuff, more than I could carry myself. So could Crick actually double up as a tech kit? So he has all of this inside of him, and whenever you want, you just get stuff out of him, like a storage space where he can hold things for you. Given that Crick can already hold things up to how many kgs? 10 kgs? What's the limit?
Okay, thank you for this one.
是吧？是以上，我觉得是10期。
最大是会超过10千克，但稳定的话应该在6千克左右。
The maximum weight limit is 10 kilograms, but for it to perform stably, we better put like 6 to 7 kilograms of objects on it.
Okay, got it. But yeah, that's still well under the amount of weight that we need. So I think that also could be an interesting use case. So having a portable backpack with you that holds all the things that you need, as a companion that follows you closely. I think that is one of the things that I would love for Crick to do.
提供这个陪护功能的时候，这也很重要。
Yeah, thank you, Yash. Art Lover JV, do you have anything to share? I see you open up the video.
Yeah, so I have my all the cost that we have to put in here in the chat.
Chat box, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Oh, all of you have already submitted your. Do you want to say something about these answers? While,
yeah, I mean, I added all this up and it's coming out to about 680, and I think that can be really that's not a realistic budget for a robot dog. So
okay, I think yeah, our Andy and Ms. Lee is also checking on your answers. Maybe they will give some feedback based on these inputs.
I went with the budget robot, so that's the reason that came to $450. But for some of the things, I just gave us less than $20 as those functions. It's not much needed for me, or it's not feasible. Based upon if I have the robot, will I use that robot for this particular function? So, thinking that or keeping that in mind, I just gave it as a less than 20 because I may or may not use it. For example, making a tea or coffee. I don't expect a robot to do it for me. So that's the reason I kept it as a 20. So, or for fifth one, it's tidy up and organizing. I just kept it as a 0 because I don't want someone to do that. I would love to do it myself.
Yeah, I noticed Hazan submitted 3 features, and Art Lover JV and Hawkeye kind of included almost all the features. Do we have any feedback on these kind of? Is it feasible? My question is it feasible overall to include all the 12 features in one home robotic product at this stage?
Maybe in 15 years.
50 or 15? 15. Okay.
15.
Yeah, this is some of the answers I love to know why and what is the current stage, and yeah, maybe Andy can share some of your.
So basically, for the current stage, we can achieve any functions that do not need an arm in 2 years. But also, it depends on how good the users want it to be. So, for example, if we want to say the surveillance, we can achieve surveillance and basic home security functions. But we cannot achieve certain algorithms. For example, we cannot achieve detect if someone is suspicious, if he is someone in your already in your contact and a close friend already. So yeah, so it's actually how effective and how the results the users want it to be. There's always some room to improve for the basic functions, for example, the chatting and companion, surveillance and home security, and also AI housekeeper and finding things at home, and taking photos and videos while following around. These are the functions that we definitely can make them happen in 2 years.
这些其实2年之内就可以实现。
And also health supervision, but not monitoring. Like remind you to take the pills remind you that you didn't drink the water.
I hope this input helped you to understand this second question more. If you have any doubts, any questions, feel free to ask.
Actually, I've seen three results, and I'm actually quite surprised by the answer, because what I was expecting was you guys probably are going to take lots of functions like laundry, organizing, like things like this, the kind of house calls. But actually, these are the ones that ranked very low and not going to pay a lot. Why is that?
I think it's mainly because of the lifestyle that we currently have. For example, tidy up and organizing, table and surface cleaning. We don't expect a robot to do these jobs for us at this moment. Maybe in the future when we are too lazy, then maybe then. But right now, we don't expect a robot to do these kind of stuff. We are more focused on stuff that we cannot do ourselves at this point. So we want a robot to do those kind of stuff, or maybe a task that is repetitive, like laundry or cleaning dishes. That can be a possibility, but cleaning up and cleaning tables and stuff, I don't think we need a robot for that at this point of time.
Something worth pointing out, Indian households especially, and this is a big difference between the West, the Middle East, and India, is that people in India really rely on domestic help for most of the chores. So naturally, they are accustomed to that way of doing things. They would not trust a robot. And believe me, because I got an automatic floor cleaning machine, the small robot, the dish-shaped robot that we have, and my mother did not allow it. She still trusts the maid to do it. So that's one way how India differs greatly compared to other countries. And I think that is one task that humans will continue doing at least for the next 20 years. Robots cannot penetrate in this market.
Yeah,
So, I mean, if you look at the benefit, Roomba doesn't steal spoons.
I mean, we just added to the cost, running cost of the house help.
Yeah, thank you for this valuable input. This is the information we need. So next step, if we are seriously considering a dedicated home robotic product for Indian market, we will not jump into this sector to compete with your mates. Anything you love to share?
Yeah, I agree with what Arthur J. Mentioned about making the home related things. Even I was thinking, like, when I gave the score for the amount of dollars that I would spend for those things, I gave it as very low. For example, if you take the 10 point, which is of making and serving the tea and coffee cook, that would vary a lot, from house to house. The utensils that we use it for making of tea, has a handle, and I would not expect a robot or quick dog to hold that handle and put it in a cup and then serve it to the people. So I would not expect that one. That robot would understand and and handle those utensils in the right way. I don't. I mean, I like to make my own tea and coffees.
Thank you, Hawkeye. Anyone else have a comment on Hawkeye's previous input or questions?
So I commented in the chat. So my total budget will be around the 25,000. so which is equal to $303. And for that, I have like pointed out only 6 of the features. For that, like I have included the budget of surveillance plus AI housekeeper as a 50, like 60 plus 50 equal to $110. And for health, it is a $50. Then vacuum cleaning and laundry, it is a 50-50, $100. And table surface is also included into the vacuum cleaning. So like it's around 302.60. So like 25,000 Indian market, which is like right now, if I am comparing with some other kind of cleaning robots and all, then like I think so. This is my budget as of now.
Thank you, Harsh.
I want to ask the team, what do you think a realistic budget for a robot like this could be?
I have a question.
So for example, if the function is surveillance plus AI housekeeper, the price probably will go to above $300.
Wow.
But that sounds way too low for a robot dog to me. I think it should cost, I mean, if I compare it to a smartphone at this moment, smartphones are way expensive than this. So I'm not able to calculate. I don't see this as a realistic,
Andy, are you
budget
quoting the
for
price of the entire robot or these as add-on services? Because add-on services
yeah.
makes more sense.
So basically, regard the form of a dog. So if we are going to make something like a robot, but not the dog shape, and it has the surveillance and AI housekeeper functions for all the like CV algorithms inside, then the selling price probably is above 400 to 500, and our making cost is a bit less than that.
But that still sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
Motors.
Sounds too low.
It's not too low. It's just surveillance and AI housekeeper. So these are the functions that don't need like very expensive chips or very expensive structure sets. So the things that actually cost a lot are the things that that actually run quite low in your answers, like tidying up and organizing. The arm is very expensive. And you guys don't need that function. And also the table and space cleaning, this is a very expensive function because we need lots of deep learning algorithms, and truly we need to work on it for 3 years to make it really useful. And you guys don't need that. So
by any chance, Andy, are you accepting orders for custom robots? Just asking for a friend.
And can I ask one question? Why you guys, I see several of you choosing the taking photos and videos around and while following. Why do you need that function? Do you need to like take photos and making logs of your like lifetime or your lifestyle, or what exactly is the scenario that you need that?
I chose it because it reminds me of that Snap drone you have, where you take videos of yourself and for vlogging and stuff. So that's how I see if I talk about this feature.
It's mainly because of the, I think so, person who are involved in the vlogging stuff, they will select, I think.
Okay.
I chose that 11th option is because, when kids are around and, that, having a robot capturing the movements, that, we'll have memorable things, which we can, in some situations, like we wanted to, if the kid is going to work for the first time, and, we may not have the phone, the right moment, and, they're having the robot and, capturing the things or, viewing the things that could capture the first step a kid does, something like that. And like, I think Harsh mentioned that capturing the videos is also one of the major thing that any vlogger takes into consideration while taking this one. A lot of apps are, a lot of creators on Instagram or the other social media profiles love to take selfies, videos, self-videos.
Yeah, thank you for three of you giving us some more insight into this feature. Do we have further questions for our users? On this slide, we have a third question topic today.
Yeah, one more question will be how will the robot find things, because from what I can see, the level of eyesight for the robot will be a bit low, right? But if the robot has to find things, then it has to be able to reach up and maybe shuffle things a bit and find, right? So how will it be able to do that currently?
There are actually several technologies that can achieve the same function, the same results. But actually, each kind of technology, they have their own pros and cons. So, for example, we can use the CV algorithms to find things at home. So, for example, if the robot have several photos of a certain products in different places, then it can deduce what's happening in the room and what's happening for the products. So as long as it has the very good results of the CV algorithm, then it can find things for you purely based on the CV algorithm. And another technology that can achieve the same thing is like an air tag or any kind of signal tags that we put. For example, if we put a sticker tag on some kind of the products that we normally save in a shelf, and sometimes we in China we do have some certain food that we need to keep it for years, and then we forgot it, and it got like out of date. So sometimes people do have the kind of need putting tags on the bottle, and then we can find them as long as we need it. So we mark it, and then we can. There are technologies that can help you to find it very accurately, or can help you to tell you which room it is. So there are some signal technologies that can do the same kind of results. So it all depends on what kind of technologies that we choose and how we combine together, because there's no technology that can 100% secure you that it can find the product.
Yeah, so computer vision is the key, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, what if, let's say 2 or 3 more products are stacked on top of the object that we are trying to looking for? It might not be, if without the use of, let's say, NFC tags or any other tags, visually.
比较高的这种东西，它是要怎么样？
高度问题是？
就是说，如果这个东西在比较高的地方做的，我们其实机械臂，或者是说有其他形态的，
是，
就是对于这个高的物品的话，我们的那个智能的这个机械臂就 arm 可以去做这种伸展，然后去到达这个高度，或者是说我们的形态也不单纯是quick 这种四足的，可能会更高一些。
For reaching the objects high above, we will use the mechanical arm, and it can stretch, and for it to easily fetch or reach the object high above. And we are not only limited our technology in this only form factor, which is quick, and we are exploring other form factors. We want to achieve this kind of feature. We may resort to a taller one, maybe in the future.
No, okay. Yeah, got it.
Okay, since we have our next topic to discuss, I'd like to move on. So the third topic would be, what are your expectations for future home robotics, especially in terms of the following features? So I think the product team is specifically looking in these directions, and you might give us some of your help, some of your insight. Let's go one by one. Are you living in a house or flat with stairs? Would you need your robot climb the floors? A robot with camera which follows you all the while. Any concerns for security issues? I think we covered this one, so we can continue. Are you living with anyone else? Will they worry about your robot, which has a camera all the time? I think it's also the same. It's the security for the people who are living with you. What is the one thing that troubles you at home? For example, always forget laundries. Yeah, I think some of you mentioned in the thread. So that's specifically what our product team would love to know. What is the one thing that the biggest trouble you have at home? Okay, these are some simple questions. Maybe you can just share. You can give answers directly to the questions or share any of your expectations. Hassan, Art Lover JV, are you still with us?
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
here.
Yeah, haven't heard from you guys for a while. Feel free to share.
Yeah, so we have stairs, but the robot doesn't need to climb floors for my personal house. And then, of course, I don't want a robot following me around with camera all the time, because I'm very cautious about, covering all my cameras around me. And are you living with anyone else? Yeah, I live with the parents. And yeah, I think if I am away and my parents are old, then I'll be okay with the robot monitoring my parents with a camera. But if I'm home, I don't want a camera on me at all times. And one thing, yeah, of course, I forget laundries, I forget to clean the floor and dishes. So that's something that robot can remind me about at least.
Reminding you to do some laundry and do all the stuff you don't necessarily want to do. Do you really want
like a
that?
personal assistant.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Please continue.
可以继续。
Hassan?
啊，你这边是有什么要讲的吗？
So what if the case is not both stairs or a single floor? If there is a lift, an escalator, how would it perform?
是不是也可以考虑一下这个场景？
Okay, Hassan had a question. Do we have any?
是不是就是电梯？
哦。
怎么做这个联动？
So basically, if we do have a robot arm, and because we have CV algorithm, so we can combine them and let the robot itself to take the lift.
Understand? Like select between the floors and everything, right?
Yes, yes.
Closing the doors, opening the doors, everything.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
understand.
as a CV, it can understand what all the things meaning of the real physical world. So it can manipulate certain things like taking the lift.
Understand.
Do you have the one thing that troubles you at home? This is what we are interested in.
Yeah, privacy. Privacy is always the concern.
Okay. I mean, not necessarily related to home robotics. Anything that troubles you for the moment? when you're yeah, living or staying with friends or on any of the occasions.
或者说这是你和朋友在一起了解到的一些这种问题。
Harsh?
但是你这边有没有什么想分享的呢？
I'm in transit right now. I'm connecting you in some time.
Okay. Hawkeye?
你这边有没有什么想分享的？
Yeah, coming to the answers of these questions, like I stay on the third floor of the building, so I would expect a robot to climb along with me to the floors instead of me carrying the robot with my hands to the up and then using it again. And I think that's the second point that we discussed already, like the security concerns. Like we, I mean, with camera is okay for me, but the security plays very important role that we should have the control, and the user should be 100% sure that that is not being controlled by someone outside of the home, or it cannot be hacked. So that will be the major concern for any user to use that robot with the cameras. And because I see a lot of people, what they try to do is they put on a sticker on a camera of the laptop. I think the art lover JV also does that, because he mentioned he was very concerned about his privacy. So I see a lot of people does keeping the small sticker on top of the camera, so they don't want someone to be watched them. So that is one thing. And I live with my parents and people around me, and also kid. So I would expect that robot to look when the kid is around, and I would expect it to capture the things. At the same time, I would also expect that robot to alert me if the kid is doing some mischief things, like trying to put some pencil or pen on a electric point, or there could be a lot of other scenarios as well. I just said one scenario. And what troubles at your home? I mean, I'm not getting any point with that, but so that's what I would expect.
那我这边就这么多。
Okay, thank you, Hawkeye. Do we have any feedback for
Yeah,
this?
so the robot will be able to respond to voice commands, right? Let's say, how will it differentiate between a voice recording of the same person and actual person asking the robot to perform the command?
There's one technology, the voice recognition called 6 Mac matrix. So basically, it's a 6 Mac putting together in certain shapes. So it can detect from which direction, roughly from which direction, and what kind of angle the voice is from, and also it's detecting distance of around 5 meters. So yeah.
But we don't necessarily need to be in line of contact with the robot to activate it through voice, right? Or is it? We can stay in a different room and ask it to come to us, right? Bring something to us.
So basically, if we are in a different room with a robot, so we are thinking if we need extra like Mac or a small speaker for that.
麦克风或者其他的东西来做这个召唤。
I hope that is getting through is understandable.
It's just like in Apple, we have they can put all the HomePod Mini all together in different rooms. So if we put a HomePod Mini in
HomePod Mini 来组成一个在家里的
it can do lots of
每
things
个
like
房间里都可以有一
voice
个 HomePod，
voice calling and so for example if I'm in room A and I want to call someone from room B, I can just like directly call the person from.
然后我也可以在不同房间之间进行通话。
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
So do we have a question for this round for our users?
一轮的讨论，我们有什么问题想？
咱们还有没有关于他们的一些反馈的一些问题？
One of the things that I would like to mention.
还有一点我想提的是。
Yeah, please continue. Okay.
Can I go ahead? Yeah. Another point I wanted to mention is, as we took the survey, like the 10th slide or the 12th slide about the options or the features that we would like to get for the robot. Based upon the opinion, it is from 4 or 5 people in this group, from India. Maybe we haven't chosen that option of robot performing the home related things like the floor clearing and the other things, but and I would not expect the product team to consider that as the final opinion, because that varies when we take a opinion from different user groups. For example, if you see MI robot is something that is launched in India earlier. Even I think Redmi has a robot, but I don't think that is in India. But MI robot is something I know few people use this robot for the floor cleaning and the other things. But one concern I heard from other people of using MI robot is for people who are staying in multi-floor building. Multi-floor building in the sense is it's a duplex house. It's like we have stairs within house to go into the different floor. What they have to do is they have to take this robot, use it in the ground floor, and then manually carry it to the next floor and put it at the another floor to clean or mop the entire area. So that was one concern that they mentioned when I had the discussion. But if the robot can be retractable in the sense if it can have the wheels or legs that would self-adjust and then move to the different floor and then does the job, and that would be something great. So I'm just quoting an example of MI robot. So there are some users who are still who uses this MI robot, and there may be some other robots as well that might be using in India that the users might be using. But if at all, if you guys are thinking in that direction of getting a product that does this home related things, then I think it would be a good idea to get the opinion from a larger group of people, not just 4 or 5 people what we had in this discussion. Because all the people we might be thinking in the similar direction of using a robot for the AI related things or the home security related things. But if you take some certain group of the people, they might be concerned only about the the robot doing the the mopping of the things in the home. That might be the major point for them to buy a home robot instead of whatever the features we have seen. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, actually, I do agree with the Hoka regarding that. So particularly in that Mi robot, there is a problem. So what here in India is that in some of the room we have a room guider, so which is like a ceramic. There is a ceramic material with some kind of the height. So this particular thing will not surpass or clear that particular portion. So for that we have to climb that particular robot for the next room. So which is really unfeasible in the Indian condition.
Yeah, thank you for both of you for this valuable input. I think our staff, our colleague is trying to understand and also give some feedback.
他刚才说的是说，在不同层不同的 robot 不在线上。
我们怎么能通过技术来实现？其实现在已经实现了嘛，就大概说一下吧。
但我刚才没确定我完全听懂问题。他说的是在不同层如何确保用的是同一个 robot 是吧？
对，就是说这一个 robot 的不同层、不同房间怎么使用？但其实布局，然后
We're checking with understanding of these questions. Please wait for
这个 A 房间是这样的 ，B 房间是
for 1 minute.
大概我理解是这个意思。做一个建图。
对对对，是的。
我们可以建，就是
你回答呀。
Yeah, if we got your question correctly, I think Miss Lee is going to answer your question.
OK，就是说，在现阶段的技术层面实现来讲，我们是可以通过提前对多个楼层不同的房间去做这么一个建图。那么，当我的机器人在处于某一个位置的时候，它可以通过它的摄像头或者是其他的传感器来获取到当前它所处位置周围的信息，从而知道自己在哪个楼层，在哪个房间里。
Currently, according to our current technological solution, actually we can mapping the floors and the rooms in advance for our robot. So our robot can recognize the precision with the relevant information observed from its cameras or other sensors to judge which floor and room it is now.
此外呢，就是当它在使用的时候，也会根据这个地图，就是根据环境的变化来更新自己的地图。
In addition to that, the robot will be able to update its map according to the environment during the usage.
对，可以使自己的定位和导航的能力实时的去更新，能达到正确的位置。
They can renew their awareness of the positions and navigation during using, so that they can have a more correct understanding of the positions and the places they are in.
And also the robot can at the same time calculate its whole body using algorithms to calculate like each piece where the each of the body is. It's called whole body control, and this is one of the core technology for actually for robots. So just imagine like a robot itself can real time calculate like in 3 dimensions exactly each part is inside the physical world.
Does this answer your questions?
So it has a knowledge of all the things that are currently in the environment, and it will update whenever the things are being moved. Let's say chair is being moved to the right, or sofa is moved to the front, so it will auto adjust accordingly with its sensors, right?
Yes. So basically there are 2 parts. First part is like knowing about the environment is things that you just mentioned, and the other part is knowing about itself. So it has a whole body control, like from the motion control algorithm team, and they can simultaneously calculate exactly each part where they are, like each part of the body where they are at inside the environment, and also the environment team will feed back all the data about the environment and the changing of the environment. So these 2 algorithm teams, they two together can calculate like in 3 dimension exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Okay, I think that was a very good discussion. Do you have any further questions or anything you'd love to know from us, since we kind of finished all the 3 topics here for this session? If you don't have further, yeah, go ahead.
I have a general question about the design process for the Crick. Like we see in smartphones, when one phone comes up with a new feature, other companies develop and introduce the feature in their phones as well. So if we talk about Crick, it is very similar to, for example, Boston Dynamics Spot or Xiaomi CyberDog. So is this a conscious decision to incorporate the learnings from the competitors' products in your design process? Or is it because everybody has a separate design process, but this is the most efficient form factor, that's why everyone ended up on this form factor?
So India Misli is looking in the direction of our product manager, of our project manager, Carl.
所有的电子类产品的整个设计开发流程大同小异，但是机器人这个肯定会有一些特别的地方。
All the electronics are with the basic similar process of development. The difference is very small, but for robot, it's another story.
特别是对于像我们这个新团队啊，所以对于我们这个新团队而言，同时大家也知道，机器人它不是一个这种复杂的机器人，不是一个能够马上能够量产的一个产品，所以这个更偏研究性的整个开发流程，跟这种消费性的这种批量化的这种开发流程会有明显的差异。
So we are a new team, as we have mentioned, and robot development is very complex. And a robot is such a product which can now be put into mass production directly after the current study stage. So now it's still in the research and development and studying stage. And it's very different from the perspective you adopt when you are developing a mobile phone, which can be considered as a very mature form and it can be directly used in the mass production.
同时呢，因为机器人它不像手机能干什么事情，其实大家心里应该都有预期，但机器人呢还给人有非常非常大的想象空间，所以我们在整个设计开发的时候。不论是各个计算单元吧，应该说我们的机器人里面会有很多计算单元，所以我们的计算单元会有很多算力的这个怎么说冗余故意的，就是为了方便后续的拓展，接入更多的传感器啊。
And the robot is not like a mobile phone. Everybody has the similar expectation about what a mobile phone can do. But for robot, it's still presenting a great potential for us to imagine about what it will be able to do. For example, robot, the computing units in robot are quite different and adopting different logic. We have many redundancy of computing powers when we design a robot, because we think in the actual and the future development and the use of robot, there will be many extensions. So we have to prepare the computing capacity for this extension and the future applications.
最后一个差一点，我觉得应该是说，手机是一个快消品。机器人不一样机器人的整个迭代速度它其实不需要那么快，它需要的就是强有力的这个拓展，所以设计的时候我们必须考虑各种各样的兼容和可能。
And another point I want to mention is mobile phone is kind of a fast-moving goods, but robot is different. The iteration of robot product is not that fast. So we have to consider the great possibility of extension for the relatively longer use duration of a robot product?
That's all.
Yeah, thank you, Carl, for taking on this important question. I think is also my not you also help me to understand what are the differences between these mass-produced products and products for the future. Yeah, I really thank you guys for spending 2 hours with us by sharing your knowledge, your insight, and I hope in the meantime you get to know a little bit more about these products, and maybe you get to have some new ideas about the future, what we are going to embrace. And to conclude today's session, I'd like to invite 5 of you to give us some feedbacks, because as you know, it's our very first edition in this format with OnePlus community, and you guys are our first test people. And I really thank you for taking the time. Maybe during the topics, there was something that you were not quite satisfied. Maybe you have better suggestions for the follow-up for the upcoming new events. Maybe you have suggestions for the topics that you love to talk in our future events. Please share it with us. Now the mic is yours.
I think it's a cool way of getting feedback from the community, man. Getting people to directly interact with the team that develops these products. I think it's really cool. We are able to satisfy our curiosity, basically.
Thank you.
It's more about satisfying our curiosity than giving feedback for me personally.
Thank you. Harsh?
Yeah, so for me, it's a kind of same as the Power of Community co-creation program. So it is the really fantastic procedure, or you can say that meeting that in which you can directly involve the community members for the co-creation. And in the end, after the successful production of that product, we will be like it's a really great way to interact with the community. So it's like a co-creation project for me.
Thank you, Harsh. I see it exactly the same way. I think co-creation has 2 directions. One is for like mass-produced product or for the merged products, and the rest is for the upcoming products or the future ideas. Something deserves to be co-created even before it's going to the mass market. So in this sense, we are taking advantage from both of our input. You are learning from us in terms of our past experiences, and we are learning more about you, about the users who are going to use these products. Thank you. G+1, do you have anything to share? Any comments, any feedbacks for our session?
Like it's been always a
Oh, G+1,
go ahead.
please go ahead.
Yeah, this is my first session with audience from the HQ and product managers and fellow users. This gave me a good insight as to what the team is actually developing and what direction you guys are looking to take. And I was really surprised with the functions that were actually added to the robot, like tidying the house and finding things and picking up the laundry and all. I didn't actually think that it will be possible from the Keurig when I saw the demo. So those things are actually new to me, that it will be able to perform those things.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this. Do you have any comments, feedbacks, or future topic suggestions? What would you like to know more from us? If not, I'd like to move on to Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan, please continue.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, guys, my network is really terrible at the moment, so I can barely hear you guys. But I'll go ahead and say co-creation has always been a great, inclusion is everything. So you get to see what's going behind the scene, what is being created, and you get to be a part of it. So that's really great that OnePlus community and is taking the feedback from user base like us and taking it into consideration and making it possible. So that's something really great.
Yeah, I get your point. Is our we are always trying to offer more chances to co-create with the community. Actually, we are benefiting a lot from this kind of conversations. And we are planning also for the whole year that we would love to do more of these sessions with you guys. So we have Yash, maybe if you are still there, I believe you can also share some of your honest views on this session. How can we do it better? I always enjoy your honest opinions since our users are always giving us encouraging words.
Peter.
Maybe you are not currently at the computer. Doesn't matter.
No, I am. I just couldn't find the unmute button for
Okay.
I've been listening all along. It's been a fun session, and I really enjoyed listening to people's ideas how they want robots to evolve. I'll be very honest, I find it bottom line scary, some applications. I also find the thought of having a human-sized robot very repulsive. I personally wouldn't use one myself. But yeah, it's interesting to see that how far technology has evolved, and that there would come a day when there would be certain tasks which would be delegated to robots, which is cool. Again, I'm not the target audience. It might take some time for me to get used to them, to even accept the way they are. But yeah, I'm excited. And yeah, this event went great. It's been what, 2.5 hours?
Not yet, almost.
Yeah, I was here listening all along. It has always been playing in the background, so I did enjoy the conversation. Thanks for putting this together. It's been fun.
Yeah, thank you, Yash, for these feedbacks. Yeah, I know you have made at home and you don't need a home robotic product. And I also agree with you that yeah, even just discussing the same topic or this kind of product with a group of people, we get to know about humans a bit more because we are at the end of the day different people and we have different needs. And I believe in the future we will have a lot of these topics to help us understand where lies the humanity, what are the differences between humans and machines. Thank you.
I'm actually more curious and looking forward to see how humans and robots will coexist in the same ecosystem. That is something that I find very, very interesting. And I also want to see how people will very readily adopt this technology. It's there, the dogs especially. I think dog is going the dog approach, I think, was very clever because dogs as a pet is something that we trust very much. So it also has a psychological influence. So it makes the crick look a lot less intimidating, something which is definitely a welcome change. However, when I do look at Xiaomi's approach, the dog is not cute anymore. It does look a bit scary, and then you have these human-sized robots like Sophia, which are outright creepy. I definitely wouldn't go 10 feet near them, but that's just me. Again, as I said, definitely looking forward to seeing how humans and robots will coexist in the future.
Yeah, I believe all of us are looking forward to know what are the future for us when we have all the robots around us. Actually, they are existing in different forms that we are not quite aware. I believe when the tangible robots are packed in our environments, that will be a different world. Thank you for spending 2 hours with us. Thank you for every one of you. So let's continue the discussions in the community. Feel free to share your impressions of these events with other members who didn't get the chance. And I believe is an open process, is a learning process for all of us. If we want to benefit from the technology, then we should join the conversation and continue the discussions. So let's call it for today. Before we end the session, I'd like to invite all of you to give a warm applause to our 3 staff members, and especially to our 2 wonderful interpreters. Without their job, we are doomed today. I'm not able to understand every word you transmitted via the speakers because I was not with my earbuds today. Thank you for every one of you for the time, for the attention. See you next time.
谢谢大家，辛苦了。
Wow.
Good Chinese.
Wow, that was not expected, Yash. Okay.
I mean, I've attended these meetings way too many times. I know what they say in the end.
Okay. 谢谢. How to say that in Indian local languages? Maybe you can teach us.
Hindi, you can just say Dhanyavad, Namaskar. But India also has way too many languages, something that robotics should definitely help with. Andy, maybe you can take that as a next project. Teach Crick 26 different languages.
That was also mentioned in our previous conversations. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for inviting us.
Bye.